Welcome to This Week in the NFL Week 7 edition. Get ready for some garbage. I would like to thank the Denver Broncos for bringing us one step closer to firing Dennis Allen. Knowing this team, that's not going to happen at all, but it's always nice to get some false sense of hope, though. A British toilet bowl. I used to do weekly shows of these, but I decided to just can it after low ratings. Well, anyway, the Jaguars ended up doubling up on the Patriots. But the Patriots do get a better pick in the upcoming draft. So who really won here? Deshaun Watson got injured. I will provide no further comment on that matter. Also, the Browns lost, but we don't need to know about that. This is one of those games that's so good where someone just has to lose and accept it. Unfortunately for Minnesota, it's the Vikings. Detroit now moves into first place in the NFC North with that win. Minnesota may be a feel-good story, but Detroit just keeps winning. Well, Titans, at least you scored the first 10 points. Too bad you couldn't stop Buffalo from scoring the final 34. But we're mad at you for a different reason, Titans. You know how DeAndre Hopkins is supposed to be the only thing left on your team at this point? He's now a Chief. And you traded him for nothing. Congratulations, you just gave them their third Super Bowl in 3 years. How's it feel being the most hated team in the entirety of the NFL, Tennessee? This is what happens when you put any sort of trust in the Atlanta Falcons. They always fall right back down to earth. The Seahawks pick up a much-needed win as Atlanta now needs to answer a few questions they were not willing to answer. Happens to every mediocre team. Saquon Barkley's return to New York was met with a bunch of boos as the Giants did not take a liking to him switching to a division rival in the Eagles. While Barkley may have been shook, he sure didn't look fazed as he absolutely feasted the Giants in a blowout win. But hey, he did help the Giants in a way. It furthered their chances to land their next big quarterback. So maybe he really is a Giant for life. If Miami had a real quarterback, they might be more competitive in these games. That's close. If I'm being entirely honest, the Dolphins might need to look at future options for quarterback. Perhaps draft a certain intriguing prospect from Miami. But they probably won't. The Packers have good special teams. What timeline are we in? I think Jordan Love is starting to become an elite quarterback just like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers were back in the day. Which in that case, get ready to get traded to the New York Jets at some point. Jaden Daniels has gone down for the Washington Commanders. Season over. Even though they did absolutely destroy the Carolina Panthers, because, well, they're the Panthers, and things like this always happen to them. They're now going to have to go through the final 10 games of the season, possibly, with Marcus Mariota, which is never a good thing for anyone. Just ask the Titans. And with that, the Chiefs are the only undefeated team in the entire NFL, beating the Niners in a Super Bowl rematch. Now that they have DeAndre Hopkins, the Chiefs might legitimately go 17-0. I would be stunned if they didn't win the Super Bowl at this point. The Rams are so injured at this point that I would be legitimately impressed if they make the postseason. They can definitely beat the Raiders, though, especially since the Raiders didn't score a touchdown the entire day and turned over the ball 4 times. I fear the Raiders might be broken at this point. Maybe 2021 was a fluke year. Let's check in on Davante Adams' actions in the last 2 weeks. Well, he lost to the Steelers as a Raider, ended up getting traded to the Jets, and lost to the Steelers again, this time as a Jet. At this point, I half expect him to get traded to the Giants so he can lose to the Steelers a 3rd time in 3 weeks. Also, did you really think that Davante Adams would help your team become contenders? This was 34-10 at one point. The Buccaneers just piled on a bunch of points to make it look close at the end. Sadly, it doesn't look like Jackson and crew are missing the postseason. It would be funny if they did, and it might actually help them long term if they miss the postseason. But of course, we can't all be so lucky. The Ravens just have too much talent. Monday Night Slog. The Cardinals win by Kyler Murray magic and a game-winning field goal as time expires. The Chargers may have a few problems to address by season's end. I won't be that hard on them since they do have a first-year head coach, and he did win a college football national championship just before transferring here. But you might want to keep that in mind for the future. Well, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell, and don't forget about John 3:16. And I'll see you next time. Ephesians chapter 3, verses 14 through 17. When I think of all this, I fall to my knees and pray to the Father, the creator of everything in heaven and on earth. I pray that from his glorious, unlimited resources, he will empower you with inner strength through his Spirit. Then Christ will make his home in your hearts as you trust in him. Your roots will grow down into God's love and keep you strong.